they continue. Keep the Clippers under 80. Ooh, that's fun.
Ooh,
98-79. Curry with 19. Butler with 21. Harden had 20 points. Did not score in the second half. And Kawhi finishes with 18. One of 4 teams in the NBA right now with 4 wins. Currently sitting third in the West right now is what the Warriors are doing. Look, it's early. I know if you ask Draymond Green, he'll tell you they're contenders. What are we looking at here? What is this Warriors team? Are they that good? Are they good enough?
The Warriors?
Yeah.
They obviously talked about their age and their experience.
Sure.
They have that continuity. And right now, they're healthy for the most part. Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, you know what you're going to get from those guys. And they defend, and they play in the system, and they move without the ball, and they bog you down. I mean, listen, they gave up in 2025, I think, up 79 points in a game. That is, I don't care how bad the Clippers have played inefficiently, and I think they were insanely bad offensive numbers, but this is what the Warriors, they can beat you scoring a lot of points, they can beat you in the half court, and they can defend. That's exactly what they do. When you're an experienced team like that, you're going to have bogged down, slow, physical games like this, and this was a prime example of that. And Clippers are honestly just as old as they are too. This was 2 of the older teams in the league, and it was sloppy basketball a lot of times, and there were some good things that the Clippers did early, and then there's good things that the Warriors did, but this is how the Warriors can beat you, and they're a versatile team.
I agree, and I think the most glaring thing with this team this season, this Warriors team this season, is Steph Curry hasn't had a big performance yet, and they're still one of the top teams in the West right now. So, with that being said, obviously this is a scary team. They're built for the postseason, and we're just waiting for Steph to really erupt. And you know, this is a scary team on the low. I think this is exactly how they wanted to approach this season. So, under the radar team, the underdogs all season, and I think they surprised us.
Yeah, they're 4-1. I feel like we haven't seen them play.
They haven't played great.
Steph's only been the top scorer in like 2 of the games, and 1 was a loss. So
yeah, Jimmy.
That's scary to think about.
Yeah, Jimmy has been leading his team. So, like Boogie said, imagine when Steph Curry turns into Steph Curry. This team is going to be a tough team to beat against anybody. And we talked about the Clippers being an older team. We talked about the Warriors being an older team. But the Warriors have guys on that roster that are highly competitive, high IQ guys that's going to get them through a lot of nights where you don't have to have these big gaudy numbers from Steph or even Jimmy. Like, they're going on the offensive end with the mindset, we're going to get something out of every single possession. When you got a team that knows how to play a game inside of a game, they're going to give themselves a chance to win any game.
Clippers were leading at the half. We mentioned the fact Harden didn't score in the second half at all, and then they go on to lose this thing. And they are the oldest. They're not the oldest. They're the oldest, and then Warriors. It's like oldest. Give or take, right? Contenders, Lou. When you watch this Clippers team, and we've said it 1,000 times, I'm almost sick of it. But on paper, goodness gracious, that roster's crazy. But are they legit?
On paper, they're a really good team, and they are legit. They just got to find some consistency, right? Like right now in this season, they're 9th in offensive rating, but they're 16th in defensive rating. Last year they were 3rd in defensive rating, 17 in offensive rating. They got to figure out a way to get both sides of the basketball to coincide with each other. Once they do that, I think they'll be a better basketball team. I don't know a lot of games where you're gonna have James Harden not score in the second half and not be able to be that force, because when he's scoring the basketball, he turns into also a facilitator, and that makes their offense that much better. So I think they still are contenders, but they're going through some young growing pains for an older team.
Crazy.
And trying to figure out who's doing what. Bradley Beal has only played in 2 games. Still got to figure out where he fits in. You still got to figure out what you're going to do with Bogdanovich and how he fits into the mold of this team. Because if you get him going, he's a guy that's really, really valuable on that roster that can help you win a lot of basketball games. And so they still got a lot of questions to be answered, but I still think in the West, they're going to be a highly competitive team if they can get their offense and their defense to click at the same time.
I think it's going to take some time, right? Like they've made some big additions, like John Collins, Lopez, Chris Paul. They're still going to have to work those guys in. Last night we're watching Kawhi Leonard, he's doing his thing. James Harden was unbelievable. I thought we were going to have a vintage James Harden night where he goes off for 20 in the first half.
Felt like it.
He doesn't get to the free throw line or nothing in the second half. And again, it was weird because they went away from what works. And that's a lot of 2-man game. That Zubac's on the glass, which he was great. He covered our rebounds, but Steph smoked our parlay with the threes last night. But this is a team where, you know, me and Conrad were talking. They remind me of those teams, the Laker team that just put a collection of these older players out of their prime, or the Nets back in the day that did it, where it looks cool. It seems real fascinating on paper to see all these big Hall of Fame names on one roster. But then at the end of the day, when it comes down to actually playing the game, it doesn't work. Outside that Lakers bubble team, no one's really won at a high level putting this collection of older guys together.
Is that the only argument for putting a collection, like, is the Lakers bubble team? Because you just mentioned, like, Lakers and Nets and everybody who's tried to do this
The Nets
before.
did it twice. Remember those, like the
twice.
KG, Joe Johnson, that
was so
squad? They were
splashy.
like, damn, Darren Williams. Like, I thought they were going to.
What about the Miami Heat? Shaq, D-Wade, Antoine Walker.
But they weren't like
That group,
they weren't
Gary
like
Payton.
former stars when they added them.
Yeah,
on.
this-
What would
I
you
feel like
say?
They were older though.
Yeah, I
They
guess
were definitely older. That's a good one, but
But point being, it's rare.
It's
It's
doable,
rare.
but
Yeah,
it's
it's
rare.
rare. But again, that's why I think on paper we're like, ooh, this looks like it could be deadly. Then they get smacked by the Jazz in the first game, and like they have games like this where they score 79 points, and it just shows glaring holes.
That was going to be my question to Lou. You spoke on it earlier as far as, sometimes less is more. Do you feel like the Clippers added too much this offseason?
You got to give yourself a shot. I got a new arena. I got to sell tickets too, baby. You gotta do both. You got to do both. But I think when you bring in a guy like Bradley Beal, who had a rough run in Phoenix, give him a fresh start. Now, I thought he would get away from a team with so much star power so he can kind of get back to being naturally a one or a two option guy. He's back in that third option with this group. If he can figure out a way to hone that in and embrace it and give them big minutes, I still think this is a team that can do it. If you can get really good minutes out of Chris Paul, Chris Dunn, Bogdanovich, like these are guys that over the course of their careers have been very valuable players. John Collins as well. Zubac is coming into his own. This is a very talented roster. I didn't even have to mention Kawhi and James.
Right.
So if you can get all of those guys on the same page, I think you have another team that can be like a Golden State. Golden State is off to a better start, but if they put all those pieces together with that star power, I think they still got a shot in the West.
Hey, Brad Beal out with back spasms.
Don't start. Don't start.
You know what that means for Parsons.
Don't start. Boogie, if you
San
ever
Francisco.
you ever try to steal my job
not 2
again,
weeks, man.
Sorry.
Hey, there's a
I will
bender.
murder you.
There's a real heater. Just saying.
Boogie over here stealing my job.
Stay in my
I
lane.
honestly will. No, I think.
Yeah, any other questions
I
you got?
loved it. I was like, I will actually go and watch the show. I kind of want to watch the show today. We're gonna take a quick break. On the other side, Robert, or a little bit in New York, right? So Boogie, before the season, you said they'd already peaked. The Knicks had already peaked. Look, it's early. They played 4 games. They're 2-2 in those 4. Have you seen anything that makes you think they're gonna get back to where they were?
I like this Knicks team. I think obviously they're a playoff team for sure. But I just feel like it's a lot of pressure on one player as far as winning games on a nightly basis, and that's with Jalen Brunson. He's a smaller guard. He's not the most athletic, and obviously he's figured out a way to contribute every single night. But I just feel like it's so much pressure on him every single night to score the basketball, and that's just not a recipe to compete for a championship, in my
I
opinion.
mean, you can't take a minute off.
At all.
But also, that's why they add Jordan Clarkson. They have, valuable wings with OG and Bridges. To me, it's Cat. And again, the comments before opening night that were concerning, and now after 3 or 4 games, whatever, it's even